Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, some more BSG action tonight coming from AP Marauder here. It's going to be Icon has Nuke Zerg versus Devnol Protoss on the map Shakuras Plateau. So, should be exciting. At least I'm excited to get into it. I heard there's no other casters going on tonight, and I thought, well, why not get in on some of this action? You can't have exciting StarCraft 2 action pass by without anyone knowing about it. At least, in my opinion, I don't think that is right. So we are going to be covering these games and seeing what these players are doing tonight. So, I can see this go on a little bit of delay. Sure. Just check out the stream here. See if it's working. We are indeed good to go, like those SCVs from StarCraft 1. Gotta love those StarCraft 1 quotes. I did not play the game very much. I tried the old graphics. I hate to be that guy, but it was just a little bit too much for me. I couldn't quite handle it. StarCraft 2 is just so much better. However, I do know, and I've heard, that the story is so much better in the original. So I might have to get back to it sometime. Not saying that the campaign in StarCraft 2 was bad. I enjoyed playing through it anyways. I was also new to StarCraft, so it was all kinds of exciting. But the first one, I just heard of some epic things that go down. And I hear that the difficulty makes it a little more intense, as you cannot select difficulty. But enough chat, here we go with Icon has Nuke in the bottom right, followed by Devnol Protoss in the top left. Going to be blue versus red. I think this might be the MLG map, and kind of annoyingly, you can only be blue or red. I'm not sure if that's really necessary, as blue and red, in my opinion, not optimum colors for some of these races. I guess, when I play any race, I think I like orange Zerg the best, yellow Protoss, and like pink Terran. I don't know, but you can't be any of those, so you better be able to deal with blue and red. Classic good versus evil. Let's see. Ooh, Icon has Nuke actually representing the evil side here with red. I don't know. I don't think he's an evil guy at heart at all. I enjoy watching him play. He does some good things. And we're going to see the pylon down below for Devnol will probably have some form of a forge expand here with a nice narrow ramp. That's a great option for Protoss on Shakuras. See if indeed he does go for that. Zerg going to be moving out with a really early scout, and Protoss moved out with a very early scout as well to get in, make sure he knows when the spawning pool timing is in. That's going to be an Evo chamber. Whoopsie daisies. There's the spawning pool. Excellent. Good. And the forge coming on down. Super standard stuff. Actually, a very normal spawning pool timing. I expect to see a hatchery follow this right up as soon as he probably gets that pesky probe out of there. But I'm not sure. Yeah, we've definitely not seen a extractor yet, so this drone going to be going down and taking an expansion. Seeing good Overlord moving down here. He'll probably swing over and look for the third from Protoss here, is what he's probably going to be doing. Will we see the cannon follow from Toss? Looks like we will see the cannon first. This pylon's a little bit vulnerable. I'm not a huge fan of using the pylon as part of the wall. I like to usually put it somewhere back in here-ish maybe, and then stretch down here and have the forge. But I'm not going to question this wall off too much. It's looking pretty solid, other than he will probably need to get up a backup pylon here, but he's going to be waiting on the Nexus. Hatchery gone down for Icon has Nuke. Interestingly enough, he does play Zerg, so I'm not sure that he can actually has any of the nukes unless they are being dropped on him. But some interesting, crazy stuff goes into those names sometimes, and mine's a little bit weird, so I'm not going to ask questions. Probably see a gateway follow-up for DevNull here. We have seen the super quick third from Icon has Nuke, a great response to the Forge fast expand. In fact, really the standard response coming right now and on the ladder play, I believe, and from the pros. Thanks to some pretty sweet stuff figured out by Stefano with roaches. It just makes the Forge fast expand not nearly as effective because by the time you move out, Zerg has so many roaches he can swallow up everything, at least everything important and valuable that you've made. Looking at income, we just have about roughly the same. Actually, still Protoss with more workers, but as soon as these expansions get going, we'll see maximum drone production from Icon has Nuke if I have predicted his play successfully. Another cannon coming down from Toss. He's a fan of these pylons on the front of the wall, which once you get up enough cannons, that is perfectly fine. Yeah, we're going to see some drones transferred and some drones in production. Have we seen? Yes, indeed, we've seen a good timing on this queen getting on down here. She does not have any energy. She has done some creep. That's probably a good decision, trying to get up some creep out here, probably connect these bases. That is so key if the Protoss would do some form of timing push. There are a couple of good pushes that Protoss can do against a quick third from Zerg. But you really have to do damage with it, otherwise Zerg's macro gets a little bit out of control and unstoppable. Income tab, 30 harvesters now as Zerg is taken back over in the income. We have seen no harassment down from either player. They're kind of leaving each other alone, leaving things up to their macro game, which is good stuff indeed. One gas at each base for Protoss. He's going to add on a couple more gateways and just a couple of zealots out right now. Warp gate research just about half done, and that's actually all we will see right now. Taking the second gas at the natural. Interesting. Usually you'll take this main gas first, but it doesn't really make any difference. Now a robo coming on, and if we look at the Zerg, the Roach Warren is going to be about half done, taking a 2, 3, 4 gases. So definitely getting enough gas. He'll be able to begin maximum roach production. Zerg doesn't have robotics. They are insectoid monsters. Come on, get this right. Alright. Supply block coming down for the Protoss. A little bit awkward of a moment here, but it happens to everyone. It happens to the best of us, I agree. See some 3 Overlords moving out. Alright, well, I guess that's a good sign. We see Zerg not being supply blocked. He's done a good job so far of this macro. So many drones have popped out. Now we see 64 to 42 in the income, just going hugely towards the Zerg. Will we see roaches coming? We just see a few coming on the way now. Are there Evo chambers anywhere? There are not. Usually with this kind of play you begin to see some so they can get up a quick 1-1 on those roaches. But the double robotics play coming from DevNull Toss here. I really have not seen this done very much. I kind of like it. This Overlord just going to peek in and get a look that there is indeed a stalker, so he's going to have to get out of there. But an Overlord has plenty of room back here to sneak around and see all of the things. Now 9 roaches in production, and there's the Evo chamber starting up the +1 for those roaches. We see a few more drones coming out and more Overlords. 5 Overlords because, heck, I don't want to ever be supply blocked any time in the next 3 or 4 minutes. So good job getting all those out, I guess, so that he can just switch to pure roach production. Protoss has an Immortal. If we look, he's going to be finishing up this other Robo, and I'll be curious to see if he goes for double Immortal production. He does. In fact, this could be a nice counter now to those roaches. Overlord coming in, seeing everything, so a good suicidal Overlord there, at least getting a good count on all the buildings. We He did wait to throw down the second forge, but, you know, when you haven't gotten the Twilight Council even yet, it's a little awkward to get that second forge. I think we need to see a Twilight Council somewhere here in order to be able to utilize double upgrades. Fourth base coming on for Zerg, so he is in macro mode. Metabolic boost, Glial Reconstitution for the Roaches, giving them that speed and some nice creep spread already extending towards the Xel'Naga Towers here. Protoss not made any pokes or prods anywhere. If we take a look at his vision, he's going to be a little bit surprised, I think, when this creep stretches almost to his potential fourth here. There's going to be a ton of Immortals, though, so these Roaches could actually be countered quite well. We need to probably see a good amount of Lings with them. And now 4 Immortals, Sentries, Stalkers, and Zealots are going to move out. I think the Zerg force is just a little bit too big. We see 158 supply to 101. But a good job by Protoss moving out. I don't think Zerg will actually go to engage this army. He'll probably just sit back and try to spawn more units. We see a great addition of more Lings here to balance this out. Metabolic boost will probably finish up by the time Toss, well, he's going to pull back and reinforce, I guess, so it'll definitely get done. The attack upgrade 2 probably not going to get done, and the Spire being added on right now. No stopping this macro from the Zerg. A great job. Looking back in income, has been evened up in workers quite substantially. It looks like Protoss going for a third. I'd like to see some poking and prodding by Zerg. He has plenty of units. He can go around and maybe try to deny this, or at least go in and scout it. But he is content to just